Welcome, everyone, to the Arts Academy podcast. It's been like a month or so since we did our last one before the school year started. So we figured this is a good chance to let all of you guys know all the stuff that we have going on in the school for the next couple weeks and going on to the next month as our school year has now really got started. All right, so first, let's talk a little bit about Back to School Night. So Back to the School Night is going to be virtual this year. So starting tonight, all of the teachers will be posting videos inside of the Google Classrooms for your kids, for the students. So you guys as parents, if you want to see what the teachers have to say, all you have to do is log in, get your kids to log in to their Google Classrooms, and you can watch the videos from the various teachers. Quick explanation about what the class is about, what the student expectations are, what the grade scale is like, and things that they're going to be covering through the year. Just a nice, quick, overview of the course that you can check out from each individual Google Classroom. Each teacher will have their own. Also, progress reports are due from teachers today, which means that if you have access to PowerSchool, which you should, you can go into the PowerSchool app and just click on each class and you'll see the comments for that class, which is how we do the progress reports, the comments for that class listed underneath each teacher. There's also a tab that you can click on just to see the PowerSchool comments, and you can just give a quick look and see, okay, this teacher says this teacher says this, and hopefully most of them are going to be pretty general, right? The year is still just getting started, but if there's any issues, the teachers will be sure to point those out. Anything else you want to add to that? I think that's
yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Tom, let me just add one thing. There is, I'm sure a bunch of parents that are watching this for the first time, maybe not live. If there are live viewers, please feel free to use the comment section and ask us any questions as we're going through this material. Feel free to follow up with an email either to myself, Mr. Gongora, or any of the teachers and guidance counselors. The guidance counselors are actually filming their Back to School Night video conferences now. So as a result of that, they're not here, but they're usually on our podcast. And I highly recommend you, if you're a YouTube user, since this will be on YouTube for you to access even after the fact, subscribe to the channel, and you can also turn on notifications. So when we go live, sometimes there will be notice. Sometimes, like today, there was no notice. We just decided to put this out just to basically make sure that everybody's aware of things that are going on. I know you're going to get a lot of emails. If you want it more in a visual form, again, parents or students can listen to this as they maybe are on the bus or driving to work in the morning. So turn on those notifications. You can definitely get all that information. I highly recommend with the Back to School Night videos that you follow up with any of the teachers if you need more information with an email. I recommend to the teachers all the time to reach out to parents if there's a concern with any given class. Again, if it comes to my attention or to Ms. Gongora's attention, we're going to address those issues with the teachers ourselves. But again, your first line should always be to reach out to the teacher, and you could always involve the guidance counselor in any concerns that you may have. And Tone, I throw it back to you, I guess, with the PowerSchool update, PowerSchool app.
Yeah, and then they reach out to Dave Terepka if they're not sure how to access PowerSchool?
It's actually all on the district website, so we can throw it into the show notes. I'll send that to you right after this, and then we can put it in the show notes. So if you don't have a parent login, this link will explain to you how to get the parent login. It also will explain to you how to log into the PowerSchool app. It's the same username and password that you create for one, you can use for both. I highly recommend, again, the PowerSchool app. It's very good. You can turn on notifications, and again, you all obviously have phones that you're familiar with. So if you go in and turn on notifications, you can turn on attendance notifications. You can turn on grade notifications. So every time a teacher updates a grade, it'll send a notification to your phone, and you'll know exactly what that grade is and what class that grade was updated to. So it's very useful. You'll know the information, sooner than probably the guidance counselors. The guidance counselors run reports probably every 2 weeks with grades and attendance. So if you're on the PowerSchool app, you'll know that there's an issue before the guidance counselors reach out to you, which honestly is very important, and you can address that with your child at home. Go ahead, Tom.
All right, so next on our list there is a new thing this year. So all students who stay after school for any reason are going to just have to fill out an after-school authorization form. Basically, this is just a permission slip, lets you know that your kid wants to stay after school, and you're just authorizing permission for them to stay after school either 1, 2, 3, or all 4 days a week. So they can sign up for the different clubs. There's, I think, around 25, 30 or so clubs
at least.
That the signups went out for. If for some reason, somebody hasn't gotten the club sign up, just check your spam folder. I know, especially for the freshmen, the school messenger service that we use to send out the emails, a lot of the freshmen said it was hitting their spam folder. So you just want to go in there and find that and authorize that, because a lot of information comes from the school messenger that we send out through PowerSchool. So just make sure that if you can't find it, that's where to look for it. So there's about 25, 30 or so clubs that you can sign up for after school, based on your interests, based on, you think you might want to learn more about this particular topic. You can sign up for a club and check it out and see if you like it. But you do need the school authorization form for anything after school. So that's clubs, remediation after school, the schedule. We'll post a link for the schedule, for remediation schedule as well. But the remediation schedule was emailed to everybody, and that'll update as if more teachers want to stay after to teach or to help. This is basically, if you're not sure what remediation is, it is just a teacher as a tutor, right? Paid for by the school. So no cost to any of you. It's a free tutoring session for 2 hours after school for any subject that is on our list, number one, and that the students might have trouble with. So I know I do math remediation twice a week. So hopefully if anybody's having any math trouble, they can stick around. We have a math teacher here every day. So we're definitely there in case there is, and in case you have trouble, you're having a little bit of trouble in your math class, want a little bit extra help.
Yeah, just one more side note. These programs do not run on Friday. So when Tony says every day, he means Monday through Thursday. So, yeah. Because again, our after-school program, there are no late buses on Friday. And a lot of the questions that come to me are specific about busing. I can put the transportation, we'll add that. I'm making notes as we go here. The transportation schedule, I'll add that into the show notes. I'll send it to Ms. Gongora to add in. And there's going to be a set of buses that leave at 3:15, as you're probably accustomed to at this point, and the students are also. There will be another set of buses that leave at 5:30. So whether a student leaves right after school, or if they do stay for any of these programs, clubs, remediation, intramurals, and the LEAP classes, they can get transportation home provided by the school. Again, if you want to pick up your child, that's fine also. All right, you can wait right outside the gates, and then your child could walk down the walkway and come to you. And just a little bit more on those emails that were sent. Yes, definitely check your spam folder. The club form is due today. That email was sent by Mr. Casaro earlier today. I sent it out in his name using School Messenger, so that information was all sent out to the students. There was a club fair this week in school. Hopefully the students were able to get into that club fair during lunch. Ms. Velasquez and Ms. Arias were the ones that ran that, and there was a lot of interest. A lot of students were able to get the information they needed. Remediation, Mr. Gongora did a great job of explaining that, so I'll kind of skip that one. Intramurals, the one thing about intramurals, Mr. Fitz runs that program, all right, Adam Fitzgibbons. So you can always reach out to him if you have any specific questions, but there is an additional form needed, health form needed, update that the parents need to fill out. So if your child shows up on Tuesday without that form, they're not going to be able to do intramurals. So please reach out, check your email, but please reach out, because a parent does have to fill out, I don't even know how many pages it is, but it is a few pages of like a health questionnaire. And then LEAP classes, I believe the deadline again for LEAP classes is today. They will keep, adding students to the class before it meets, but classes are mandatory. And in some of my classes, I spoke to some of the freshmen. If you're going to play a sport and you're not available from 3 to 5 after school, or you have, let's say outside SAT tutoring or anything you do outside of the school that's going to prevent you from being here from 3 to 5 on the days that class is scheduled for, please do not sign up for the class. You're not going to be able to complete the class. You're going to be removed from the class. And if you are selected over another student, then that student's not going to have the opportunity to take the class, for the course of the year. So please make sure that you can make that commitment, or please don't sign up for the class. And I'm not discouraging people from signing up. I just want to make sure you understand the commitment, because if it's a class, you have to show up. Okay. If you don't show up, technically it's a cut class unless you're sick, but you can't afford to really miss that much time. A club, if you show up a few days out of the month for those meetings, that's fine. Intramurals, if you show up once or twice a week and it varies on the days, that's fine. Same with remediation. A LEAP class you have to show up to. Sorry, Tony, just figured I'd add some info there.
No, that actually happened to me a couple years ago. Kid signed up and then was like, "Oh, I'm going to go join the swim team." Well, you got to choose one or the other. So if you are in the LEAP courses, that is something that you need to show up to every day the course meets, right? And then most LEAP courses are going to meet once or twice a week. So maybe that fits into your schedule to do something else, but you do have to meet every time. You do have to be at all the meetings for the LEAP courses. Clubs, remediation, that's, those are optional. They're, you're going to want to meet every time your club meets, but it's not mandatory if you have something else to do. Remediation is like on a as you need it basis. Same with intramurals, but the LEAP class is every day. So the last thing on this page, and then we're going to hit some guidance notes, is just some upcoming things you should know about. Next Wednesday, next week, which is the 13th, we're going to be giving the PSAT to all the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. So that's going to take up our day of school on Wednesday. And then the week after that, on the 19th, is going to be the Link It test inside their math and English class. Okay, so Wednesday is whole school. Everybody's going to take the PSAT since that is a national test. Link It is a test that we use to sort of gauge how the students are going to do on the state test at the end of the year. So we give that test 3 times. Once now, once after Christmas, and then once right before they take the state test in the spring. And what we're looking here is just to highlight any skills that are missing. We can address those and just make sure that we're on track, so that probably going to have some sort of state test at the end of the year this year. So most of us haven't taken one in a while, besides the Start Strong that we just did, but we haven't taken that end of the year completer course in a while. So we'll make sure that all of the students are ready for that. Okay, so now on to the notes from guidance. And Mr. Ricciardi, you can take these.
Yeah, I'll read through these. And again, we usually have our guidance counselors on the Arts Academy podcast. They were busy filming their presentations for tonight and the next few days, so they just sent a few notes. So these are the notes from Mr. Buscio and also Miss Belavorak, who is new, and I can't wait for you guys to meet her. But seniors, Naviance, we're going to be using Naviance almost exclusively moving forward. If you're having trouble logging in, you can reset your password. Just email Mr. Buscio. Seniors should use the Common App. Again, I'm on bullet point 2 to choose colleges. All right, very important. Waive your right for FERPA. Senior night is 10/18. Financial aid night is 10/25. The senior counselors, we reorganized the guidance department. So our guidance department is no longer 2 guidance counselors available to the entire academy. They're always available, but their assignment is Ms. Belavorak will be the 9th and 10th graders in the Arts Academy. Mr. Buscio will be the 11th and 12th graders in the Arts Academy. All right, so they were kind of reassigned. 2 of our guidance counselors left last year, so we had an opportunity to reassign our guidance counselors. Naviance should be used for teacher recommendations. That's even something that I got a couple of requests for recommendations, and I wasn't sure because I haven't done that part before. We usually do it on College App. So it's a little bit different. It's going to take some getting used to for us also. And then obviously sign into Naviance, go to colleges, click the match button. Again, any of that information you can talk to Mr. Buscio about. He wanted to make sure that the juniors know that he will be meeting with them in November. Right now, he's really trying to take care of the seniors. The senior counselors are focusing on the seniors. But by all means, they're always available to everyone in the academy and parents if you have any concerns or any comments that you want to share with them. Miss Belavorak, right now, she's doing freshman orientation on Friday, so all the freshmen will meet with her on every Friday to go over a couple different things. And sophomores will really be given more attention in the third and fourth marking period to get familiarized with Naviance. And Naviance is really the system that we're going to be working with moving forward. The freshmen are lucky because they'll be able to use it basically exclusively for 4 years and really build their portfolio, build their resume, and it gives a lot of good feedback based on the information that I've seen on Naviance so far. But again, it's very new to me, so especially with the teacher recommendation process. Mr. Gongora, anything else?
Not too much. Nothing from this page. There are a lot of things coming up. Right, we talked about a few testing things that are coming up as far as from our academy. Right, we have the dance jam and coffee house coming up soon. Musical theater is doing a showcase in November. We have our December showcase. So all that stuff is on the calendar. So keep a lookout for that. Any of those things, we'll post it on this channel, as well as coming soon, we'll have some new ways for you guys to get information from the school, including a sort of like a digital newspaper and some newsletters for each academy that'll go out hopefully coming soon. So keep a lookout for that. Definitely, like we said at the beginning, subscribe to this channel and to the new channels that we'll be making if you want to keep up to date. And that's about it. Anything else to finish?
No, that's it. I guess definitely subscribe to the podcast. Turn on notifications. Feel free to email us. Our email addresses will be in the show notes. And again, on YouTube, if you're on a laptop or desktop computer, on the bottom there's going to be a bunch of show notes. On the cell phone, sometimes it's a little difficult to see if you're watching on the cell phone. You usually have to hit the down arrow to kind of open up the show notes section. But we'll put links for the PowerSchool app, for parent portal for PowerSchool. Very important. I highly recommend every parent get the PowerSchool app. Again, my daughter's in 8th grade and I'm on the app also. I get the updates myself. The remediation schedule we committed to putting on there, so we'll put that on there, and I'll put the transportation schedule on there. So those will be the 3 things that you can find in the show notes. And I think that's it.
All right. So until next time, hopefully everybody's school year started well, and we'll, these podcasts, we'll try to do them every couple weeks when there's some information to get out to everybody. So until next time, we will see you later.